Hello, Shadowhunter here, and welcome to my Open TTD Realistic Challenge game. I guess let's call it a game. So basically I've designed this challenge. It's super hard. I've already failed it like, I don't even know how many times, maybe 3 or 4 times. So basically, these are the rules of the game. You need to place down your HQ. That's the first thing you have to do, is place down your HQ. From there, it has to be placed on a road network, and you can only build out for things touching your existing network. So I cannot place stations at destinations and build towards them. They must come from my existing network. Additionally, I cannot build airports or seaports without an existing connection from road or rail infrastructure. The city's road network can form part of my connection. So basically what that means, put my HQ down, I have to either build a road or rail that touches the existing road or rail. The assumption being the town that I build in has the supplies I need to build out my network. Things don't just magically fall out of the sky, so I can't just build things where I don't have a way of getting the raw materials to site. So we'll be starting in 1950, which makes it very difficult. Towns and industries are set to normal. Map size is small, making it a bit harder. I have some cosmetic mods, but we are playing vanilla. If we want to purchase farmland, it is going to cost us one small advertising campaign per square required. If I want to build an airport, I need to buy exclusive transport rights to cover the air pathways, whatever you call them, and we cannot remove any city buildings. We are a transport company. We have no imminent domain. Trains cannot change directions without dual engines, which is going to be tough for us early on, as the steam engines can only go one way, so we need to build looped tracks so our trains can turn around, and our trains can do a maximum turn of 90 degrees. If we can somehow survive and actually start making money, then we're going to try and knock off the achievements. So no funny business, I'm going to generate a map right in front of you right now. This, like I said, this is the 4th time I've done this. So I have done more maps, but I failed all of them. So fingers crossed, this is the map. So let's hit the generate button. Let's hit pause. We've got a nice lake in the middle there. We've got a few big towns, and this is going to be difficult because, as you can see, most of our towns are surrounded by farmland, which that is going to make life difficult early on. So I'm going to pause the game so I can have a quick look around. I'm going to land on a town, and I will bring you back when I have decided where I want to put myself out of my misery. Alright, after great inspection, I couldn't pronounce this town name. So I've gone with Brisbane because, you know, it's the best city in the world. And I think the play that we're going to go for, and this could backfire, it is difficult, but I think the play to go for is to try and get a passenger service on the outskirts of town. It is going to be difficult because I need to be able to loop around, so it means that the coverage won't be great. But I'm going to try and get a passenger service from Brisbane to Ayton going to give me this little bit of line with a line looping back. Once I've got the line looping back, I think I'm going to go into Gospers Point and then obviously use that line that's now going to the coal station to try and pick up these 1, 2, and 3 coals. Once I've got that going, I might try and look at leveraging with just maybe a road network, some of this timber, and then we'll go from there. So let's see if lucky number 4 is the go for me. So first things first, let's pause the game again. Manager name is obviously Shadowhunter, and we are of the company, Dark Side Incorporated. Alright, we are ready to roll. We need to put our HQ down, so we need to make sure it's touching this road network so that we can utilize it. I can't build while paused. Alright, it's good too. I'm not going to build a road there because I am not paying the fine to build on farmland, so I'm glad I snuck that one in. And let me just get our transparency options tucked away in the corner there for building. And let's get our first train station in. So these are just some cosmetic upgrades I have, just so I don't have the boring old defaults. But there is no trickery, it's just boring old vanilla game mechanics, just with prettiness. Alright, so I think if I go there, I'm going to touch the edge. I think I need to see... no, town buildings. So I think I can build there. So if I go there, I think there, but I need to touch the existing road network. So that's okay, that's alright. So what we're going to do is we are going to build a bus station here. And we're going to take that up, and then we can then put our train station in. Fantastic. And then we want our back line in for the turnaround. So you can see where this becomes difficult, because really, optimally, you probably would want to place the train station in here, have the line just terminating here without the loop around in it, because you would have much better coverage. As you can see here, my coverage is pretty average. I am just skirting the town center, which is not horrible, but that's not the rules of the game. Excuse me. Alright, so we can now plow on, and the difficult part as well is, as I come through here when I change counties, if I start demolishing too many trees, when I go to place my station, it's not going to let me. And I think for 8 in here, I think what we're going to try and do is, yeah, we're going to try and get the station on to end here, and then have this curve in and make that the line out. So we're going to bring this up, and then we need to make sure that we avoid the farmland at all costs. We do not want to pay the farmland fine. So I think one more square, that's going to give us a nice direct line into the city, and then we can get our platform in. Right, so we want to be, so it needs to be able to turn, so we need to be there. So we need 2 more squares. There we go. We've built our rail line out. We can add our train station in. The local authorities are probably going to start hating on us pretty soon, but that is okay. Alright, so we've got that there. Now remember, we cannot do a more than a 90-degree turn, so this is an illegal building move in our game style, so we need to make sure we have a nice turnaround. And we probably want to come a bit wider when we come back, because we are going to try and make this line connect to Gosper's Point, because that power plant is going to form a critical part of our play. So if we come down here, we probably want to come out maybe 6, I think. Let's just have a look, see where that takes us. So 6 is too many, so we'll just take 2 off of that. Remove 2, and then we should be right. So if we build along there, that's perfect. Alright, so we're just going to build until we get to sort of where our passenger section is. And then I like this to be a bit pretty, and I don't like just having the janky hard turn. So I'm going to get rid of that, give it a bit of a nicer turn there. And then let's connect this back up to our initial line. So that goes there, and this comes across to here. Alright, so we've got a nice little loop set up. We need somewhere to put the station, the depot, which I think the play is to put the depot here, because then we can utilize those same depots for other trains. And what we want to do is there will be a junction here, so we'll put a signal here, and every 8 I want to have them. So I'm just going to come, is this going to do them the wrong way? No, that's good. And that just makes sure I've got, my trains are 6 wide, so it leaves enough of a gap for trains to be in a bank. So what I'm going to do is, after this bank here, I'm going to build this here, build that there. That will still give me 6 squares there, because we had 8 squares originally. And we now have a double train depot, which is great. We'll put a signal here, signal here, signal here. Let's get a signal, a little extra bit here, so that we can have the trains use multiple things. And same here, let's get an extra way in. There we go. So I could do this on a shorter line, but I just like to have that little bit of breathing space. If we want to extend the station later, we've got a little bit of room to do that. Alright, we'll pop a signal there and one in between for queuing. Let's pop one there and one after they've passed through the junction. Alright, we can get our first train set up. So in the other playthroughs I set up resource trains first. And that tended to hurt me, because what we can do with passenger trains that we cannot do with resource trains is we can manipulate the growth on them to grow much faster. Because the first goal in this game is to get a steady income. So when I tried to do a coal run early on, which these are decent, there's 117, 162 tons, and 180 tons, which we're going to tap into those. but they only have a 4.5% chance of growth. And because the lines are quite inefficient, because in a normal world, we would just build a train station here, come straight out to here, build a train station here, and just have it coming backwards and forwards. But because our trains can't turn around in the station, because we're following realistic physics, we have to build loops, which makes them very inefficient, and that makes the line a lot more expensive to run. And so what we're going to try and do here is we've got our first station here. Hopefully they're very poor. So we're going to have to build a couple of trees just to get back to a poor rating. And then once we're at a poor rating, there we go. We're now going to use some strategic placement to get some bus stops into here, and then use that to help grow the corridor. And we're going to put some strategic roads in as well to help feed this station. So what we're actually going to do is get our first bus station, and we're going to pop it just here, but we're actually going to control place this and sneakily, and just pretend that we have a shuttle service there, and sneakily connect it to our main station. That will improve its footprint, but what we will be able to do now as well is just get some passengers up and running, because I think when the town grows, it's going to grow away from our station. I just don't think there's much we can do. We could probably build some roads. I feel like I'm going to remove the station. It doesn't feel like it's in the spirit of the game. Alright, what we're going to do, I think we're going to try and transfer passengers, maybe. I could build a road here actually, that might work. I'll get them to build into the farmland so I don't have to, because I really want to grow as much as I can this way to get more coverage for my station. Alright, now we need a bus depot, and I think we've got a good spot just here we can place it. Alright, so let's get our first bus up and running. So we'll go here, here, and here, and get that up and running. So hopefully now we'll get a bit of growth. I think if we can get a little bit bigger, get one more. I really want them to build through here so I can kind of loop this around, because even at this point in time, it's going to cost me $12,000 just to claim those 2 bits of land, and then I need to also build my road. And being that I only have $36,000, I don't really want to blow a third of my budget just to extend the bus network. What I will do though is I will clone that bus, but I will reverse the orders. So we want to go Brisbane first, then we want to go south, and then central. That way they're driving in opposite directions, hopefully making it a little bit more efficient. So we're doing alright here. We've got a few passengers, I think. Where's the train? Oh, it's broken down. Why don't we let's get another train. Oh, we can't afford one. We can take out a loan though. There we go, and let's clone that train. And I will add a new order to this train just to make sure that it unbunches if needed. Alright, we're up and running. I don't hate it. It's not the worst start I've had. I've had much worse starts. Oh, goodness me. Alright, we look like we're doing alright here. So let's clone that one. And where's our other bus? Where's bus number 2? It requires $4,000. Let's take out another line. Alright, so we've got a bit of inefficiency here. They're obviously driving up here, and we do need them to turn around. There really isn't anywhere to put a turnaround in. So at this point in time, they're just going to have to continue to be inefficient, and hopefully we can start to generate some income. Look at that. We were losing money. We're now making $5,000. That's a great start. And now what we need to look at is how do we incorporate these coal stations. This one is going to be very difficult. We're going to have to come around the outside of the farmland, build it as close as we can to here, and let me have a look. Let's get a nice coal station. We're not going to be able to build it yet, but I will have enough room, because we need room to come in behind but still be in the catchment, because we don't want to obviously pay to destroy the farmland. So we'll be able to sneak in there, but that means that the station will definitely more than likely be facing that way. So we'll have to come off, come around, loop back up. This one here, obviously, oh, it's not too bad. Let me just make that invisible. So it's only up a single hill. It looked a lot hillier with all those trees, but it's only up a single hill. We should be able to get a station in here quite easily. And then this should be the easiest one. And this one here, hopefully we might try and actually do the station this way. Because if we get a 4 wide station, we can use this as a drop-off point for the farm later. When we can get a diesel train that has a locomotive on each end, because then we can build sort of a direct line off of this and potentially minimize how much farmland we need to destroy. But there is 2 farms there, and they're pretty, that one's a bit average, but they're pretty decent as far as farms go. So that's the place. I think we want to get to this station first, and we want the station facing this way, coming around behind Ranford, which means we can put another station there, hook that into our passenger network, maybe put a shortcut through somewhere, and then hook back onto our main line. So I think that's the play at the moment. We've only got 14,000. We're still, max line is 300, so we've still got about a couple of 100,000, 180,000 to play with, which is not terrible. And hopefully these things are starting to grow. Let's just have a look at these trains. So they're making okay money, and the buses are profitable, and that's always a good day when road vehicles are profitable. So, and we now have a 53-day growth tick, so that's good. So that town's going to keep growing. Hopefully they'll grow over here so I can loop this road around, and hopefully they'll continue to grow in here to improve this catchment. Alright, so next thing, I think what I want to do here is they're not going to grow right next to my station because it's being blocked, so that's okay. Alright, so next thing we need to do here is get a line going out. Now there's already Ayton doing, I don't know if this was here when I did it, but there's already a road there. I can destroy roads, I can't destroy buildings. Does Ayton like me? Oh, very good. Alright, so I can destroy that road, which I think I am going to destroy that road. I think that's the play. Alright, so we just get rid of that one road, quickly build out our rail network. I'm just going to do that just in case. I don't know if I'm going to need that line yet. I just don't want to get overbuilt by the city. But maybe later when I love them, I might throw a bridge over here once I've got this fleshed out and got enough capacity in it so I don't end up going down a death spiral. Oh, fire. Cinema. That's cool. It's part of the texture, the better cities. Alright. So, we're going to come down here. Now, we don't want to get too close to Renford because this will be a good one to grow. Because theoretically, we're coming on both sides of Renford. So, we could have a train station on this side and a train station on that side. And just have it looping around rather than using buses. And then we're going to come down here. Let me just get rid of these trees. So, come down here, and then we want to come along here. Maybe 2, 3, that's not quite enough. Come on, do the thing, there we go. Alright, too far, no, that'll work. Alright, so we're going to come down here, that's good, and then we want to get a station. So I just want to get the coal station in first. So the coal station's here, and it's got coverage on everything anyway, which is good, so that when we extend that out to 2 more platforms, we are going to be able to pick up the timber, drop off steel, drop off grain and livestock, which is great for us. So at the moment though, we're just going to focus on the coal. And then what I think I'm going to do is I think I'm going to have this side loop back on that side like that. And then we're going to follow the river. And then we're going to pop a station in. Alright, so I think what we're going to do with this station is we're going to make the main line bypass so it doesn't hold things up. And then what we're going to do is we're going to pop the station in, out of my road, as close as we can to here. And we're going to hem this city in here. So I think that's good there. And then what we're going to do is we can continue that along there. But what we might do is have it fork off like that. And then have this one, where's that? That's what I'm looking for. Go along the river there. And then we can have these 2 lines cut in here, and that's going to stop the city growing through our rail corridor. And then what we can do is we're going to have this, we can build back now because we've already built there, so that makes that a lot easier for us. And then we're just going to connect these up here rather than looping back over there. So we'll bring this up here for a nice connection here, bring this up for a nice connection here, and then bring this one up for a nice connection here. And then what this will allow us to do as well is we'll be able to block between that, put a signal there, and we should not have any issues with trains crashing, blocking each other, doing things that I genuinely just don't like. Alright, so that's there. We now have pretty much 90% of this done. So what we need to do now is, again, before we get built out by gospers, we've already got this in the right spot. So we bring this down to here, and then we want our pretty coal terminal here. We're going to stick that, I think, there. Requires 3,000. Alright, we need a loan. Loan before they hate us. So we're going to stick that there, and the reason we're going to stick that back there is we can put our little signal blockers here, have it loop around, which is great. We're going to have to loop around, and then what we're going to have to do is build a tunnel or a bridge and connect back up to here, which will be fine. So let's just get our signals in. You can go that way, you can go that way, and there we go. Alright, I think the easiest way to deal with this will be to build a bridge. So we're just going to come along here, and we want to line up with this. So probably there, yep, there, and then bridge. And what we're going to do is, just to leave some extra capacity, I'm going to build this bridge 3 wide. So what that'll allow us to do is, I've got a space there for a second, want to extend that second line in, but also gives me space if I want to make a bypass if I do passengers later. So nice stone bridge there, and then we're going to hook that in to here, and then we'll move that signal up there, put that signal there, and then remove this redundant signal here, and then we'll put a signal here for when they leave, and then a signal here, and a signal here, and I've got one at the end of the bridge. Alright, and because we've strategically placed this, we don't need to do anything other than take out a few more loans, and you can see where this money pit is going and why this challenge is so difficult, because you are spending a lot of cash just to get these trains operational. So I'm just going to build 5 at the moment. I don't want to go too big. I feel like in my other game I went too long with the trains early on, and I just wasn't getting a high enough station rating to get them to grow, which was obviously painful, because I need them to grow so I can make more money, so I can not fail the challenge again. Alright, so unload all if accepted, and then we're just going to straight up clone that train. Just get 2 of those going out of the gate so we can try and improve the efficiency of that coal. And let's just make sure that we ungroup trains. We want REN for, we're now in CL. So I'm pretty good with my naming, and the reason that I like to have everything labeled is it just makes it easier to see how a group's performing rather than looking at individual trains, because sometimes you have a train that's not profitable, but that's because it was stuck doing nothing whilst other trains were busy picking up, making lots of money. So I don't like to look at individual trains. I prefer to look at lines, and that's why for this group as well, I'm just going to call this passenger, and then that is Brisbane to Ayton. Alright, and then let's go in here, and Brisbane to Ayton, Brisbane to Ayton. Why is that? What is that? What is that? Oh, that's a subgroup. We don't want that. There we go. Didn't know you could make subgroups. That's pretty cool. Alright, so you can see here our coal route, not profitable at the moment. Obviously not, because it just started. And our passenger route at the moment, it made $11,000 last year. So far this year, what are we in September? It's made 16k. So I'm not sure if it's more profitable yet, because it didn't have a full year last year. But hopefully we're starting to get some growth. So we're 53-day growth tick here, which is good. They're still not growing where I want them to grow. I've built the road out here. I wish they would grow out here, but that's okay. Let's just have a look how the stations are doing. 480 passengers. All right. Okay, what we're going to do, this is what we're going to do. There is so many passengers here. This is ridiculous. All right, so what we're going to do, give me some money. And what we're going to do is we're going to buy another bus. But what we're going to do, we're going to pick up from here, go to here. That's all we're going to do. We're going to full load, all cargo, no unloading. And then we get into the train station. We're not going to load, we're just going to transfer. We're going to do 2 of those, and we're going to see if we can, and we're going to do 2 on the other line, and see if we can pump up these train values, and also improve, because that is crazy. 50% rate. Look at the passengers. Goodness me, I'd love to get another station in here. Alright, so, and I think what we're also going to do to help this out a bit, is we're just going to take this and extend the bus lane on both of these. I think that's the play. Alright, so then we need another bus, and we're going to go here and go here, and we're going to full load all cargo, no unloading, then we're going to no loading and transfer. So hopefully we can just overwhelm this train station with passengers, and then we'll go and look at Ayton and see what we can do in Ayton. So first things first, ungrouped road vehicles. So our last 2 was the Briz South feeder, and let's pop our 2 buses in there so we know what they're doing. And then we had the Briz Central feeder. Alright, and then let's pop those 2 buses in there, Briz Central feeder, and then we had the Buzz, which is Brisbane. Buzz is just, I think it's a proper bus term, but I just use it for when they're buzzing around, doing lots of things. Why is my train lost? Alright, hang on. Why are you lost? So why are you coming down that line? How did you, we didn't complete the, alright, turn around. Yeah, alright. So we didn't complete that. I don't know how that stuffed up. Alright, so that needs to go there. He's waiting for a free path, which means I am naughty and did not do any signals. Alright, so we need a signal there, we need a signal there, and then we're going to drag signals every 8 there. We're going to drag signals every 8 there. Then we need a signal there, and then signal in for there, signal in for there. You're all probably screaming at me. I apologise. I don't know how I missed all those signals. Alright, he's got a free path now. He should be able to fly straight through. Those are all correct. Didn't signal down here, so let's get some signals down there. And then we just need a signal there and a signal there. And let's put a signal there for good measure. Okie dokie. And I think we also should build, because there's going to be coal trains coming through here, I think what we need to do as well, we do have a little bit of money. So we're just going to build a fly off of here. Come up here, put a signal on there like so, pop a signal there, then remove this one here. And then what we're going to do is we can just bring this straight through here, which is fantastic. And this is through here as well. Just in case they need to turn that way, we'll let them turn that way. And then what we're going to do is once they're past that section there, we kind of want to hook it up to here, don't we? So we'll bring that up there like so, and bring that into there like so. And then they've got plenty of options to bypass this section. Actually, what I think we'll do, just so we don't end up with issues, so sometimes the pathing with these can be very frustrating. So what we're going to do is we're just going to make sure, I don't want to build, I want to destroy. Alright, so we want to make sure, so that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And that way we are meeting the minimum. Our trains are not going to be any longer than 6. So by having these at least 7 long, means that we will not have these trains doing exactly what this idiot's doing, which is blocking the way for everybody else. So I'm going to fix this as well, because I do not want trains queuing through there, because that could cause a backup effect through here. So what we're going to do here is we can bring this around here. So we've got 1, 2, then we're going to go 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then we're just bring it into where that signal is. Actually, that's perfect. And then what we're going to do is we're just going to remove that junction there, and then we can have a junction there and a junction there, and that means that trains queuing to get into this section are not blocking the station. Now, I think we made some money off coal. Did we make some money off coal? Coal, where are we? Coal, there we go. Yes, alright, we're making money. Ooh, making good money. It's better, I think that was better than my last game. So that's good, there's 35 tons of coal there. Train's almost loaded. How far away is our other coal train? It's a fair way off. Alright, so I think what we can potentially do now, I've got enough money, is I'm going to actually put a third train on there. And what that'll do is hopefully we will just forever have somebody waiting in the queue. Actually, what do we need? We need... Alright, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we'll just put this here and remove this. That way they can queue right at the entry, and that should give us plenty of efficiency. So that train's leaving. This one's nearly arriving. I don't know if that's the one that I bought or if that's the other one, but this is good because we don't want too much stuff sitting here. 73% is decent rating. This is sitting at 68% transported. We're now going to have at least one train here at all times without any gap in between, because this one's now 16% loaded, 20% loaded. My other train's not too far away, so we should just be consistently pulling down off there. Do Renford hate us? Yes, they do. And they've got no growth. How's Ayton going? Not growing. Alright, so we want to help Ayton grow, just like we're helping old Brisbane over here grow. It's still growing every 53 days. That's fantastic. Oh, and hooray, they're building in the farmland. That's what I want to see. Alright, because that is definitely in our coverage area. Fantastic. Which is going to help us with the passengers. We are still being smashed. That is 721. Alright, where's my vehicle groups? Alright, let's just get a couple more feeder buses. We absolutely can. Oh, hang on, I copied the wrong one. That one. There we go. Alright, so we're just going to swamp this with buses and just load that station up with passengers. Then we're going to go to Ayton and get Ayton growing as well, because this is going to help us, because everything we transfer to, look at that. Gee whiz, that's good. Where is my passenger trains? Alright, here they are here. Bunched up, of course they are. So we're about to go and take all those passengers out. Have you got unbunch on you? No, let's add an unbunch to you. So let's just make sure that you are unbunching as well, because you guys are way too close. Alright, so that's good. So we got 215 passengers there, good rating, 60%. That's going to keep them happy. Pulling most of the mail out. That train is going to be pretty much full load when it gets there, which is great. Look at it, 26.38. So it only made $2,000 on the drop off, but I think we're going to get a full load nearly. 75%? That's pretty good. Look at this. Alright, I think... Look at this! Oh my gosh! Oh, goodness me. Alright, this looks like every kind of bus station in Brisbane, because we have the 10th worst traffic in the world, so this is pretty... I didn't realise I put a realism mod on this. But, alright, so let's just see. We're backed up. Yep, we're backed up, but we're going to be unbacked up. Oki's coming around this way. Smart. That's it. Go around the other way. People on this bus are cheering. They didn't have to get in the bus line. That's great for them. Alright, well, that's really increasing the throughput. That was my bad. Alright, so that... I think we can add a third train now, because that is going very quickly. Alright, where is my passenger train? And I am going to just get another extra passenger car on that, because I can't afford it, but now I can. Come on. $100. $100. Is this good content? I feel like this is good content, watching a middle-aged man watch his money dwindle down as he screams, hoping that he will get an extra fight. There we go. Alright, and you've got unbunch on you. Yes, you do. Fantastic. Let's make some money. Look at this. Oh, 3. Sorry, I clapped loud. I'm just excited. 398 passengers. You don't know how hard this challenge is, and I keep failing. I just keep borrowing money and borrowing money. But I think last time I did this, I couldn't get my operating profit above 30 grand. And I just peaked now at 50. So it is going to peak and trough because of the coal, and the coal is less consistent because it takes so long to load. But this is good. Last time I think I got 4 years in and I couldn't even hit a 50 grand peak. So I think this is the play. As long as I can keep these passengers, which there is a lot there. There's still 600 there. So as long as I can keep these passengers rolling through, I think I can ride this money train out. Am I increasing the growth tick? 26 days. All right, we've just halved the growth tick. So this thing is going to go buck wild, which is what I want to see. I just want people everywhere. All right, so we need to get into Aten and we need to replicate this. And I think what we need to do in Aten here is we need to, well, first things first, we need to get our bus stations down before we get overbuilt. So we've got our bus stations connected to our train station there. I think we will go for 3 because we've just seen the growth that's happening in Brisbane. All right, and then. So we can get a nice loop here without destroying any farmland. And that gives them a good block to build in as well. And then I think it's just going to cost, I mean, that's where you want to go. It's going to be, so that's going to be like 24 grand. That's all my money. All my money to make an efficient route around. Okay, let's do it. Let's do it. All right, Aten, here you go. Local authority, 5-8. 1, 2, 3, 4. Thank you. Thank you. I can now build in 4 pieces of farmland. 1, 2, 3, 4. Fantastic. All right, that's all my money, but I think it's 100% worth it. I'm going to put my depot here, and then what we can do is we can put a double bus station here, a double bus station here, and we can put a, oh, can't get a double in there. Oh, can't get a double in there. That's annoying. No, I can, because roads are not off limits. So let's just fix that nonsense. I don't know why you'd build a road to nowhere. Fantastic. Bus station secured outside of, what are we outside of? Oh, perfect. High-rise apartments. That's what you like to see. All right. So I've got money again. We're making money, people. All right. So we can get our vehicle here. We'll get our loop set up first. I think let's get our loop set up. Let's get that going. All right. So let's just throw that. Where are we? We're in Aten now. So ungrouped vehicles. Buzz. Aten. Alright, Aten? Yeah, Aten. Alright, get in the Aten buzz, and let's get a couple of you going. That will get them excited and stimulated, and then I can start smashing it with feeders. So, I've got 76 passengers there, which is great. Down to 189 there, which is not horrible. Still got 434 there. And we are at a 26-day growth tick still, which is good. So, I think what we might need to do is just jump into the Brisbane South feeder. So I've got 5, I've only got 4 there. So let's just send one of those guys back to the depot. Because I think that now is a little bit overcooked. You can see it is struggling a bit there. I might send, I think one's enough. I think one for now. So I'll send that one back. We'll make some money back. We'll sell him. Alright, and this is why it's good to have vehicles grouped as well, because you can really see, you can see how easy that was to just sort of work out what was going on there. So I've got plenty of passengers there still. A little bit light on there, but I think that will normalise now. And then this should be starting to go gangbusters. So I've got 3 there, none there, 80 there. Yep, alright, so we're going to start. Alright, so let's get a new vehicle, get a bus, and then we want to go to Aten transfer, down to there. We want full load, all cargo, no unloading. And then when you get to the train station, let's transfer and go. And that is Aten transfer. Alright, so Aten transfer feeder. And ungrouped, Aten transfer feeder, and let's get you a friend. airplane vehicle and go. Alright, so that one's up and running, and a decent amount of passengers there. 49 there, and none there. Did I go to Aiden South? Am I going to Aiden South? Where's my Buzz Aiden? Where are you guys going? Aiden transfer. Aiden, hang on. So you're going. Hang on. So you're going to Aiden. You're not going to Aiden South. Why aren't you going to Aiden South? So you're going to Aiden Central. Aiden transfer. Oh, hang on. All right. So let's just add in Aiden South and put that there. Aiden transfer. Aiden South. Aiden transfer. That's better. All right. Fix that up, and I guess you need to get that as well. Yep. All right. So you go there, and then you go there. All right. There we go. That will now start making some passengers appear at Aiden South. All right. It's 25 passengers at Central. Transfers popping off, and we're leaving a decent amount of passengers for the trains, which is good. All right. I'll leave that for a couple of minutes. How's our coal going? Yep. 2 trains there. That's what you like to see. Alright, so I've got timber here. I can't get in there. When I get a diesel train, I could sneak in there and do the backwardsy forwardsy, which would be good. There's just no way I'm going to be able to get a station without paying. Just use that for now. So I'm not going to get. I need at least a gap. See, there's already a farm there. Gosh, I'm getting hemmed out. So I'm not going to touch there. Oh, I can touch there. Okay. I can get a train in. Alright. Alright, so just had a quick sip of water. My throat was feeling a bit croaky. Alright, so I think we go for this. What's this one? Yeah, 171. So this is 162. I think this is the worst one. Yeah. So it's the lowest amount of coal and the worst position. So I think we're going to leave that alone. I would really like to get into Manus Forest. There's some good passengers there, but I think we're going to be doing well. Are we going to Aiden South yet? There we go. Alright, we're going to Aiden South. So we should start seeing some passengers pop up. First citizen celebrate. We finally went to Aiden South. Great. Good job, team. Alright, so that's good there. That's nice and good there. Got plenty of passengers there. And Brisbane is just popping off. Alright, so Brisbane Central, 200 still. Brisbane South, 54. That's alright. That's going to keep plugging along. Alright, so we need to get up here. So I think that we just come up sort of here, because then we can just come back down through here. We can get a train station here at the timber mill. We could probably just do this one with lorries, and then try and maybe, I mean, we could really theoretically almost do both with lorries. I think maybe. Alright, so let's come out here. That's the way to go. Pop on a signal there so we don't have any funny business later down the track. Alright, fly down there in a nice straight line. Now, just so I can see, so the hill is there, so we probably want to come up here. Alright, so let's go pretty much, yeah, 2 more, and nope, 1 more. There we go. Alright. So we want to come through, I think what we do is we come through, put the station on the back side over here, then just build some bridges over this little river and leave it alone. I mean, we could blow it up, but it's kind of pretty. And we'll try and respect the landscape. So I'm going to come up here, give us a nice wide berth. Round here like so. And then like that down here. Fantastic. That'll do. That ticks the box so I haven't broken the rules of my game. Pop that on there. Pop that on there. Pop that on there. Get that sign out of my road. And then we can join those lines together. Pop a little piece of terrain here. Then we can just keep this nice and smooth by bridging across there and then coming down the other side like that. Fantastic. Alright, and that's going to come out there. Why do you do this to me, game? Who wants that? Why would you think that that's what I want? Alright, there we go. Alright, so that goes there, that goes there, that goes there. We're not going to forget to signal up this time. We did that last time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we can have our queue there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that'll be a nice queue there. Then we can just back build that to there. And what on earth happened there? Goodness me. Mess. Alright, and then go back to signals and we'll just signal through there and we'll signal through there. Can't build signals here. Fine, I'll do it myself. Fine, I'll do it myself. That'll do, and we'll just get rid of this one in the middle. I know some people like signals. I think I said this before, but I'm not the kind of person that likes to just signal the crap out of everything. I like to keep it pretty clean. Alright, that's perfect. So I'm going to fly straight past there, because later on I can just shoot in and build a station there. I don't even have to worry about that just yet. And then I can back build off of here, which is fantastic, which will work. And eventually, when I utilize that factory, I can build a station where I'm building my line right now, but then I could probably just build around it and join back in there. So that's perfect. All right, and then I just want to come as far as I can that way. Come up there. That is fantastic. Oh, cooking. We are cooking. We're really cooking. All right, definitely want one there. Then I'll just drag that out there. Drag that out there. Make sure I've got one at the end there. Let's just get rid of that one. Doesn't need to be there. Actually, that's why sometimes I just do it myself. That goes there. And then I'll just get rid of that one. And I'm happy with that. Alright, so that's good. And then I think what we need, we've got a terminal here for them to come, which they're all going to come past the coal plant. I think we want to stick another one probably here, I reckon. I think here's the spot. We're going to grow Ranford soon. We're going to grow Ranford soon. How are we going to grow Ranford? Alright, I've got to think about this. Before this town's not growing, which is good. But before this town grows, because you don't want the trains to have to come down here, go all the way around here, go through this coal thing, come back around here. So what I think, where is Ranford going? Maybe Black Point. Alright, so I think what we do is, do we build a shortcut? Maybe we build a shortcut. Maybe that's the play. Like, that comes off for that, but maybe this comes, they could come from either way. Yeah, let's get rid of that signal. Let's just get rid of both those signals because no one's using this anyway. Alright, and then what we think we do is we come up here like so, like so, like so. Yeah, I think this is, because that can grow, it can grow all the way over there. It doesn't need to grow over here. Right, we'll give it a couple more. Do you know what? We'll give it a couple of squares, I think. Yeah, alright, and then let's just get rid of that. And then we bring that into there, so that comes off, which is nice. And then they can go into that one there, or they can go into that one there. I don't think anyone's going to need to go straight through, but let's just give them that option if they want to, so they can have a straight through there if they want to dodge all the traffic and not deal with the station. So that can go there, that can go there, that goes there, that goes there. That goes there, that goes there. So they can come straight through, get on that line there. They can come straight through here, get on that line there. They can get in that station, they can get in that station. I don't know why that is facing that direction. Why are you that way and why are you there? So firstly, I think that needs to change directions. And then they've got their own go around, so they don't need that, and I don't want them to go that way, so they can just go over, straight over there onto there, or straight into there. Yep, I think, does that even need to be there? I mean, the coal trains aren't going to go through there, but I might have a passenger train using this in the future to get into there, so I think I need to leave that. I think I do, and I don't want them to make an illegal turn, so what I'm going to do, because I know what they're going to do to me, they're going to make an illegal turn, then people are going to yell at me in the comments. So we're going to do this so they can do the legal turn into there. And then that junction is now good. So they can get into there, get into there, get into there. They can go across there. They can come across here. I mean, I'm just going to give them a clean cut across there. They've got a clean cut across there. And nope, don't want to go behind. Oh no, I can go there. Go there, move the signal back to there, remove that signal, and then pop that there. And now they've got clean cuts. Alright, then we can bring this here, and we can come across like that. And let me just do a count. Alright, so we need to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we need to at least come in here so that we're not messing with a train if it needs to be in that block. Fantastic. Alright. I haven't seen any trains come past, which is a bit concerning. Maybe they're all just queuing up, waiting for coal. Yep, great. Alright, how's our passenger trains going? So Ayton, 32 passengers. Brisbane, 260 passengers. And let's turn this all back on. Brisbane Central, nobody. Brisbane South, nobody. Where's our passengers? Alright, so I need to get into here, calm these so let me just send you back to the station and send you, actually I'll send the oldest one back, send you back to the station, then we'll put you into retirement, and we'll put you into retirement. Okie dokes. So, is it still, yeah, it's still growing every 26 days, which is good. Now we're getting a bit of passengers there, which is good. That's still got okay amount of passengers. This is okay. And have these gone ballistic? 16, 20, 35. No. So we're doing alright. Alright, I think this is a good spot to wrap it up for episode 1. If you're liking the video, you know, please feel free to like and subscribe. I don't make content often. I work full time, very busy. I'm trying to do stuff when I'm on holidays. So I'll get most of this series done hopefully while I'm on holidays. Because it's very difficult to do after that. But feel free also to tag Master Hellish. He's probably going to be much better at this challenge than me, and I would like watching him try to complete it. Anyway, I will see you guys in the next episode.